Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and I am delighted to raise my voice in strong support of the High Seas Biodiversity Bill of 2026 legislation that speaks not just to policy but to purpose. This is about leadership that respects science, values our natural world and acts with urgency, because the decisions we make now will echo for generations. At its core, this bill enables Australia to protect biodiversity beyond our national waters, across the vast, fragile ecosystems of the high seas. And these oceans cover more than half the Earth's surface. They regulate our climate, sustain global fisheries and support extraordinary life, yet they remain amongst the least protected. The legislation will ratify this legislation before the House this evening will ratify the High Seas Treaty, embedded in Australian law, and establish frameworks to regulate damaging activities like unregulated fishing, seabed mining and pollution. It will also support the creation of marine protected areas where ecosystems are most at risk, guided by science and international cooperation. The stakes could not be higher. Without action, we face collapsing fish stocks, disrupted carbon cycles and irreversible damage to marine ecosystems we are only just beginning to understand now. For Australia, an island nation and steward of extraordinary marine environments, inaction is not neutral. It's a choice that actively accelerates the degradation of ecosystems. It's a choice against our climate goals, our regional leadership and future generations. In Newcastle, my hometown, the ocean is central to our way of life. From Stockton Beach to Nobby's Headland and all the way down to the gorgeous Glenrock Lagoon, from our ocean bars, the surfers up and down our coast, across to the whales travelling the humpback highway every year, our connection to the sea runs deep. It shapes our identity, it supports local jobs, it underpins tourism and small business. When oceans suffer, so too do our communities. Labor has a strong record of environmental protection. We rejected the PEP 11 exploration permit off the coast of Newcastle, listening to both the science and the people of Newcastle. And since coming to office in 2022, Labor has protected more than 100 million hectares of land and sea. We've strengthened emissions reduction mechanisms, invested in renewable energy and backed scientists and traditional owners to deliver real environmental conservation outcomes. This is what effective environmental leadership looks like. It's not slogans, but decisions that stand up. They stand up in our communities, they're going to stand up in our courts, and that puts us on secure footing. In contrast, we've got members in this House who opt often to delay, denial and go for the short-term thinking. When science calls for urgency, they offer hesitation. When the moment demands action, they fall back on politics. Well, this bill is a test of whether we are serious about protecting our environment or content to just fall behind. Importantly, this legislation is backed by a broad coalition of scientists, environmental organisations and community advocates. Groups like Surfers for Climate, Greenpeace, the Australian Marine Conservation Society, the Worldwide Fund for Nature and Save Our Marine Life are united in calling for stronger ocean protections. They represent Australians who see first-hand the impacts of warming waters, pollution and biodiversity loss. And they are clear. The science is settled, the need is urgent and the time to act is now. This bill reflects that consensus. It demonstrates what is possible when we listen to the evidence, to the experts and to our communities, and when we match that with the will to act. It also reflects Australia's role on the global stage. Oceans do not recognise borders, and protecting them requires cooperation. This legislation positions Australia as a constructive partner, working with our Pacific neighbours and international community to safeguard the health of our shared seas. Because when we fail to act, the cost will not be abstract. It will be borne by future generations through environmental decline, economic loss and diminished global standing. Not a single law will solve this crisis overnight. But this is a critical step towards healthier oceans, stronger ecosystems and a more sustainable future. In this place, we can choose to lead. We can choose to act with courage, guided by science and responsibility. That's why I commend this bill to the House